All right, so let's look in Ableton 11 at the changes or updates to the menu. So sounds generally looks the same. If we look actually over here, just on what we can see, all the way down to samples looks the same over here, but we now have grooves and templates. So templates are like if you want to save a template for your techno songs and a different template for podcasts and a different template for kind of hip hop stuff, you can now save them as templates, and all your templates are here, so you can really easily get started on a track, instead of what you had to previously do is kind of save either one template that would always open, or you'd have to save a certain track, call it a template, and then go into its properties so that it wouldn't get recorded over. So that's a really cool feature. And then grooves over here once again. I think these are, yeah, I think these are all the grooves available. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that these are not individual grooves that I created. So yeah, I think everything's available there. Otherwise, you can go into packs like you did before, go into the core library, and then you can go into your grooves right here and find all your different grooves. All right. So now let's jump into instruments, and as we can see here, instruments here kind of look the same overall. So yeah, all the same instruments here. I think there's some updates to some of the instruments. I think maybe the electric. Yeah, the electric now has a visual to it. So it's the same thing. I don't know if they've upgraded the sound. I mean, it already sounded great, but they've made it a lot more user-friendly. Let's see. But now we have drum synth. And these are from the Max for Live library, but they put it up front and center, which is great because these make great individual sounds, you know, hi-hats. And I think they've updated these as well with the visual. So you can definitely worth checking out. The kick drum is actually pretty good. Let me just your attack level, drive, and obviously pitch. Really good stuff. I tend to use my own kick tools that I've developed, but this is great. And once again, another tool to get great sounds pretty quick. And so forth, snares, toms, sampler. So I think some of those got an update visually. If we come into effects, these are much better organized. So now you've got your delay and loop section, your drive and color, dynamics, EQ, modulators, and so forth. So if we come into our delay, what's been added is our spectral time. This is a new effect. And color and drive, these are all pretty much the same here, but once again, just easier to find. We've got all of our compressors and gate, EQs and filters, modulators. This is great. These are all Max for Live devices, but they're putting them front and center because these are really, really useful tools. So I've already done, you know, tutorials on these. But yeah, definitely something to check out there. pitch and modulation. Some of these have been updated. I don't know if AutoPan has. Let's check this out. AutoPan's the same. But Chorus Ensemble has a different look to it, and it does a lot more as well. And I'll get into that a little bit later. And Phaser Flanger, they've got an update here, so now you can just switch between Phaser and Flanger here, as opposed to having a separate Phaser and Flanger. This is all one, and much better visual as well on what's going on. And obviously you've got a doubler here as well, so very cool. And from what I've played with, they sound better than they used to, so that's very cool. Now we have our reverbs and resonance. I think Corpus got an update. Yeah, so it's more visual as well. So just more user-friendly. The hybrid reverb is something that a lot of people are really excited about. It takes a standard reverb and convolution reverb and kind of hybrids them together. So some really cool options that you have here with hybrid reverb. And once again, I'll get into the effects later. And this is a brand new tool called the Spectral Resonator. This here, really interesting sounds that I'll get into later. And then we have our utilities. And once again, all of these are pretty much the same as before. But yeah, everything is just much easier to find. Our MIDI effects, once again, as you can see, some Max for Live tools have been added as well, just because they're very useful and a lot of people have not explored them. So that is what's going on here with the menus. So other than that, everything works pretty much the same. But yeah, now we have some extra really fantastic tools. And now things are just much more easily accessible with the way things are labeled.